Hey friends, welcome back to r/entitled people. Hope you guys are strapped in and ready. We've got some pretty insane people today. So let's get right into it, guys. Local zoo had to kill a tiger because of a dumbass. I just heard on the local news that a man was attacked by a tiger at the Naples Zoo in Florida, USA. It seems that this man worked for a third-party cleaning service that was cleaning the zoo at night when this F-tard thought it would be a good idea to stick his arm into the tiger's cage. In order for him to have stuck his arm into the cage, this crap for brains had to climb a 13-foot high fence to get to the cage. It's not like he was able to just walk by and do it. He had to climb a barrier that was there for safety reasons. He was able to call 911 and law enforcement had to shoot and kill the tiger to get the man free. This was a rare and endangered tiger. I personally feel that this waste of human genetic material should be made financially responsible for the loss of this tiger, the cost of replacing this tiger, and all upgrades that the zoo is going to do to stop dick drips like him from doing it again. I also feel that people who do this kind of stuff should be automatically moved into the category of Darwin and let them figure out by themselves how to get out of that situation they created. If they survive, then it's a life lesson. Don't do stupid crap like that again. If they don't survive, they just helped clean up the gene pool. Now in the article that OP provided, I just want to highlight a couple details that OP didn't mention. The third-party cleaning service which the man worked for is only responsible for cleaning the restrooms in the gift shop, not the animal enclosures. This is like the Harambe situation all over again if you guys remember that. Of course you remember Harambe, who wouldn't? Seriously sad. You sinned by having an abortion. So when I was younger, I had an abortion. It was an unwanted pregnancy where I wasn't in a great financial or mental state to look after a child, nor did I want to give an unwanted baby up for adoption just for them to wonder why did their birth mom abandon them. Anyway, in my family, I have an older brother who's several years older than me and is married to this crazy woman named Laura. Now, Laura is very religious. Not gonna say which religion because I don't want them to be hated, but I'm pretty sure people have a good guess on what it is. Laura, being the crazy religious woman she is, likes to preach about her religion with every chance she gets. She also loves children and thinks abortion is basically a sin. So I'm pretty sure you get the idea of who the craphead is in this story. So 6 years back, when Laura wasn't hated by the family, in fact, we all really liked how chill she was and how funny her stories were. So as I was drinking with her, we decided to ask deep questions to get to know each other. One thing led to another, and I told her I had an abortion before. She then proceeded to screech how terrible that was and condemned me for it. So this is where the fun began. She told every single living being she came across about how much of a terrible person I was and that I hated children. She is sorta right because I am very uncomfortable being around little fleshy living beings whom I cannot communicate with properly, but I don't hate them. She spreads lies on her theories about how I abuse children or how I deny my duties of continuing the family bloodline. That I also deny a higher up being to be a part of my life because I refuse to let an angel be born on earth and that I am to be pitied for. So on that very year, about 5 years ago, on Christmas, she bought me newborn baby clothes. In my family, we don't label who the gifts are from, we just write who it's for. So Laura thought she could get away with it since she didn't write her name on it. We all knew, everyone knew, even my unborn nephew from my other sister-in-law knew. Also because when I opened the gift, she was the only one who exclaimed how much of a great present that was, and that it might be a sign and a great blessing for my family. Everyone else was dead silent and uncomfortable. I've been ignoring her for the past 5 years, since I don't interact with her much, only on special occasions. But I know of every single thing she has said about me behind my back, mainly because she said them to my family, thinking they won't say anything to me. For my birthdays, she would always try to get her way in and give me uncomfortable baby presents. Or when someone in the family has a kid, she'll make comments to me, how potentially it could be me one day in that position, and I will appreciate my life even more as a mother. She even claimed that she prays for me every day to one day open up my eyes and repent for the huge sin I have committed, and to make up for it by having plenty of angels. When I tell her to stop forcing her ideal happiness onto me, she would cry that I'm a poor, unfortunate soul who doesn't understand anything. Also, one time I did snap at her because of how annoyed I was with her, and she cried to everyone about how much of a terrible person I was, but it didn't really work out since everyone knew what she was doing. This year, for Christmas, guess what I got? I got a children's book that helps 5-year-olds, multiple of them. The thing is, I got a bit petty with Laura because of how much crap she's been throwing at me for the past 5 years. So I became a tiny tad bit petty and gave her something special for Christmas. The thing is, Laura is infertile. She and my older brother can't have kids, which caused Laura to become pretty depressed about. So for Christmas, I gave her a special gift. I gave back all the presents she's given me for the past 5 years, all the baby clothes, toys, books, and motherhood crap. I gave it all back with a little card. It was a generic picture of a happy mother with her newborn, and it said, "This will be you one day." She then proceeded to break down and cry about how terrible I am. She's right, I am. After Christmas, she would tag and comment about me on Facebook, about how I should repent for my sinful ways. So far, I've been enjoying her reaction. I'm just waiting for next year's Christmas because it's gonna be a blast once she finds out how gay as hell I am when I bring my girlfriend over. Man, would I love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation. Okay, so first off guys, obviously there's lots of different opinions that people have about abortion, and all I ask is keep it respectful in the comments, or else the crow of judgment will be very disappointed in you guys. Nah, I'm just kidding, just be nice guys. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and yes, even entitled people. But there's a difference between having your own opinion and shoving it down people's throats, and that is exactly what this person's doing. In the end, OP, all you did was give her a taste of her own medicine. She spent 5 years prodding and poking you about what's probably a sensitive topic for you, and because of that, I really honestly can't feel bad for her. My entitled boss almost killed me and got himself arrested and fired. I'm allergic to hand sanitizer, alcohol wipes, and generally anything that has alcohol-based products. I even bring my own soap because I can even have a reaction to some soap. I can't even drink alcohol without my lips swelling. My old boss was my cousin, so when COVID hit, I didn't really have a problem, until my cousin got promoted and got transferred to a new office. Enter our new boss. We got a mass email going over our new COVID safety procedures, and one of the new procedures is that we all have to use hand sanitizer and antiseptic wipes. I sent an email to HR telling them about my allergies with medical documents. They sent back saying that I don't have to use hand sanitizer and antiseptic wipes, and that they put it in my file. However, when sent the exact email to my new boss, he replied saying that all employees have to follow the new COVID safety procedures, no exceptions. When I replied that if I use those products, I will need medical assistance, he then sent me another email saying that if any employee doesn't follow the new COVID safety procedures correctly, that they would be fired. I sent copies of the emails to our union rep and HR department, to which they replied that they would talk to him, and kinda told me to ignore him unless he tries to actually fire me. So I go into work, and my new boss is literally waiting for me at my desk with a bottle of hand sanitizer in his hands, asking me to hold out my hands. I did reply saying, "No thanks, I'd rather not go to the hospital today." He got mad and literally grabbed my hand and squirted hand sanitizer on it, then rubbed it in. He said, "See, that wasn't so bad." I tried to go to the bathroom to wash it off, but he blocked me. Well, I had a bad reaction. Thank God I had an EpiPen in my desk. My boss kept saying that he thought I was lying, and kept saying that until I was put into the ambulance and couldn't hear him. A member of the HR department and the legal department came to visit me in the hospital, probably making sure I don't sue, and informed me that he was fired. The woman from HR also said that they called the police on my behalf, and I should be getting a visit from them soon. I can't talk about that as it is an ongoing investigation. Edit to add, I'm in Australia, so no medical fees. I'm not happy about the EpiPen, they're expensive, like $40. Also, the cops won't tell me anything. They did tell me that he's been ordered to stay away from me, so he must be out of jail if he was ordered to stay away, right? I'm still in the hospital, hoping to be released today or tomorrow at the latest. Why didn't you shovel out my parking spots while you were shoveling out yours? So a bit of backstory. I live in a condo in a multi-unit residence. Each unit has 2 assigned parking spots, one right next to the building and the second a ways away in the middle of the lot. One of my downstairs neighbors is an elderly woman with a 40-year-old son who lives with her. She parks next to the building. He parks in the spot in the center. She's not disabled but is temporarily using a walker after slipping on some ice. I live by myself, so I just use my one spot near the building and let the second one sit vacant. So today it snowed and we do have a plow that comes through. However, instead of moving my car, it's actually less disruptive to my life to just brush off my car and shovel the snow onto the main thoroughfare for the plow to collect. I work from home, so I rarely drive. While I was out shoveling, this lady comes out and asks if I can clear hers out as well. It's not much extra work, so I'm like, sure, I'll help you out. After clearing my car off and shoveling the snow around her car out into the main area, I start to head back upstairs. She comes out and asks why I didn't finish the job. I stare at her absently for a good 5 seconds as my brain struggles to process the question, before I finally manage, "What job?" She complains that I didn't brush her car off before shoveling her spot out, so if her son brushes the car off, it'll mean there's more snow on the ground, and then complains that I didn't do any work at all clearing her son's car. And to recap, yes, she said her son brushes the car off. At no point did she indicate she would do any work of any sort, only that her son would. Again, I understand she slipped on some ice, so maybe her butt was sore, but she wasn't disabled, and her son was perfectly capable himself. I know he has a job and drives and such, so why is any of this my concern? I lean on the shovel and stare at her for about 10 seconds, before she grows uncomfortable and asks, "Why are you staring like that?" So I say, "I live alone, own 1 car, shoveled myself out, and out of the kindness of my heart cleared out your car so you can get in. You live with an adult son who owns his own vehicle, is perfectly capable of shoveling both himself and you out, and you're complaining that I didn't do all the work despite having zero stake in your situation, and you don't understand why I might be absolutely gobsmacked by all this." I could see the hamster wheel spinning. Then her face brightens, as if she discovered a glaring loophole in some cosmic law that will compel me to do her bidding. She said, "But you have that second spot that you never use. Why don't you just shovel that out so my son can use it?" I say nothing more, and continue to lean on my shovel with a deadpan expression. After another few moments, she turns around and wordlessly waddles back indoors. I'd like to think she realized she was acting like an idiot, but at least she recognized that I wasn't going to play ball. So yeah, this is going to be a fun winter, I'll bet. Alright guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, show your support by hitting that like button. And also, if you haven't yet, subscribe as well and hit that notification bell. You guys are awesome. Seriously, I really appreciate all of you that watch these videos. So again, thank you. Have an awesome day, guys and gals, and I'll see you next time.